Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 20 as the San Diego Padres, in which we accidentally kind of sort of lucked into a pretty good record our first season, which places us in an uncomfortable scenario where we're actually not that well off in terms of draft picks, which is going to be interesting for us in the future for certain. One thing I could do, but I'm not going to do, it is actually possible to do award voting manually. I just prefer to let the AI go ahead and vote for us. I think that's reasonable. So, let us simulate up to the draft pool announcement. I'm assuming Carbo's got Rookie of the Year in spades without too much of a surprise. Maybe even MVP. Silver Slugger for Carbo. Rookie of the Year, unanimous for Carbo. How close was he to getting MVP? I'm just curious. It looks like Willie McCovey got all the first place votes and Carbo got all the second place votes. Which, 56 homers is hard to argue with. But, damn. He's a good one, he is. Alright. So we look at the draft pool announcement. Mail into news. And there's a ton of talented players there. But here's going to be our issue. We're picking 11th. So any player that we get is unlikely to be a top quality player. They're likely to be a better than average player, but not a top quality player. Now if we look at our team, we've got a fair few players of reasonable levels of competence, but beyond Carbo, nobody that I'm confident about building around. Pitching-wise, a good year for Tom Griffin, who happens to be young enough that we could well see him continue to develop, especially if he gets his control under control. But we don't really have a core yet. And Billy McCool is pretty terrible. Can I get literally anything for him? Hawk, are you any good at all at playing catcher? You really aren't. But you know what? A minor league catcher isn't the worst thing that we could acquire. So I'm good with it. Put him on the 40-man, and then let's send him to AAA. Oh, you're one of those players. I mean, it's not like Ken Rudolph is anything special. We could let him play in the minors and let Taylor serve his backup. So there were a handful of very talented players on this team. But we don't have a core to build around like we did in some of our other scenarios. So we have to draft intelligently, despite our less than enviable draft position. The upshot of this, we might be competitive far quicker than any other team we've ever had, just because of how damn good Carbo is. So that is something to consider, my friends. Let us simulate up to Hall of Fame voting. I'm still not voting for Richie Ashburn. Not really seeing anybody. I'll cast a ballot for Billy Pierce and Minnie Minoso. I'll never not vote for them if they're available, just because I think they're both outstanding players. Duke Snyder is most certainly worth a vote. Vern Stevens, not so much. That works. And is there anybody in the minors that we desperately need to keep? Not really, and I don't think anyone would take them from us anyway. Let's advance to the first-year player draft. Give me some water while I cogitate. Hmm. 11th. Ugh. All the best players are going to be gone before I get to pick. At least most of the best players. That's fine. Please give me my scout. Thank you. So, there is exactly one position at which I'm definitely sure we don't need a replacement, and that's Bernie Carbo. That's the benefit of this part in our career, right? We can literally improve at every single position. So that's what we're going to be doing. We'll just take the best player available regardless of position. There are a handful of very capable hitters, so I'm pretty sure we'll get at least one top-notch hitter by the time we do pick. I would be ecstatic even over someone like a Davy Concepcion. I don't think we'll get better than that. Let's auto-draft. Who is left? Oh, damn it. Cesar Cedeno would be such a perfect pick. I can't afford him. Alright. Gene Giles. Kleins. Why did I call him Giles? I don't know. Hometown boy. Good speed, great hitter. Earl Williams. Really good power hitter. Not a clear position for him. Jeff Burrows could be a great hitter given some time. Dave Concepcion isn't ready yet, but a great shortstop would be an awesome building piece. So, the choices are down to Concepcion, Kleins, and Burrows. Kleins is the best hitter of the three. Right now. He's got ridiculous contact, and he's got enough secondary traits that he should have more than just contact. In real life, he hit really well his first couple of years, and then it looks like he had some injury issues. Okay. Or we could take a Don Gullett. Who also would not be a terrible choice. Or a Paul Splitorf. Are there a couple of other decent shortstops in the draft? It looks like there's at least one more. There's a fair number of good to medium pitchers, so I don't think I need to reach for a pitcher. Cedeno. Do we take a leap on Cedeno? Because, without question, Cedeno was the best player in this draft. at this point. If I could sign him, he would be a quantum leap over what we currently have. If I can't sign him, we'd still get another top first-round pick next year. I'm taking the plunge. I'm going to roll the dice and hope that we can talk Cedeno into playing for us. Done. Auto draft until next pick. Rich McKinney. McKinney's actually a very talented hitter who just doesn't have an obvious position. But I could play him at first. The alternative is taking a starting pitcher, and most of them are pretty raw. Let's take McKinney. I think he's a worthwhile choice. Next. Or could bring our good friend Steve Klein in. Roger Metzger would be a useful part. Maybe not a great one, but a useful part. Yeah, I'm not going to take Steve Klein again. Laurent Lee hits for power, but not much else. Greg Garrett doesn't throw hard enough. Jim Nelson doesn't have a good enough stuff or control. Cambria's an extreme soft tosser. Vance is just kind of meh. Ed Crosby is a fair shortstop who can't hit. Metzger's a better shortstop who, generally speaking, can't hit. But I think we're going to take Metzger, just so at the very least we can get some shortstops in the system. Let's go ahead and take Strohmeyer. He's my favorite kind of relief pitcher. Done. Jim Hutto? Possibly. How is he as a catcher? As a catcher, Hutto is worth it. He's actually extremely worth it. Auto draft. And then I don't care who we take last. If I end up with Cedeno, this draft is going to be just insane. He only won 700 grand. You know what? I don't even fucking care. $1 million. I should still easily have the budget to sign the rest of my draft picks. Bringing in Cedeno would be such a massive boon to this team that I frankly don't care how much he costs me. Him and Carbo would make for one hell of a starting outfield. Let's go up to the Rule 5. Oh, for fuck's sake, Cedeno, you piece of crap. God damn it. It's like, really, dude, I offered you $1 million, which is more than you even wanted, and you still said no. You suck, bro. Metzger, let's put you in AAA. McKinney, AAA. Man, I hope you fail miserably, Cedeno, because you made me sad. That was ridiculous. And if you're going to be a jerk like that, I didn't actually want you. Oof. I'm just going to go ahead and just complete the draft. I'm not going to pick anyone. That's a pretty rough Rule 5 this year. Cedeno, you are the worst form of trader. I offered you $1 million and you turned me down. I'm very unhappy with you. Strohmeyer, you can go to AAA. And Hutto. I'm going to set your position as catcher and then send you to AAA. And Duke Snyder made it his first year in the draft. Good for him. I mean, I guess the good news is I'll get 2 first-round picks next year. But that's still a major league bummer. Because Cedeno should have signed with me, and I don't know why he didn't. Unless he's just a jerk. A jerking jerk that always jerks. Rosters and transactions. Strohmeyer, McKinney, and Metzger, you can all have a shot in spring training to show me what you can do. It's almost worth demoting Carbo just so that the team tanks and we can get a better pick next year. Go ahead and... why am I asking the AI? Don't I have a bench coach? I didn't hire a bunch of coaches. I'm pretty dumb. Okay, I should have done that first, and I didn't. Bench coach, who gets along the best with my current team? You suck. You're not great at developing players, but you're very popular with players. Morals kind of all over the place. I'm going to take Moral because he's a better developer of players. So you're going to be the bench coach. Pitching coach, Adam Martin. How many ground ballers do I have? If he'll help Griffin, he's worth it. I'll take you. Hitting coach. Is Carbo a power hitter? He is. Then Roca, I would like you to be my Major League hitting coach. And we'll get ourselves a couple of managers. Cal, you can manage the Blue Wings, and Danny Gonzalez, you can play for short season ball. Okie doke. And I'm just going to let the AI set both the rotation and our lineups. Oh, sorry, I need depth charts and lineups. There we go. And to the end of the month. We got all of our coaches. That's delightful. We really rolled the dice, and I acknowledge that. But I think it was still worth it. I still think I would make the decision again, even knowing that he'd walk out on me. Because 2 first-round picks is really powerful. Especially if the pick you would have gotten is a once-in-a-lifetime talent like him. So I don't regret that at all. Carbo gets a tiny bit worse. Jim Hutto gets better. Okay. Let's finish spring training. And let's start building the roster. Is anybody injured? No. Okay. I have 13 pitchers. I really need to get rid of 1. Later, Wentz. You no longer serve a purpose. That was easy. Let's go ahead and build the pitching staff now while I'm thinking about it. Right. Please go to first man up. Tom Griffin is quite clearly the ace. Hargan is the number 2 because I like some consistency. Wasn't Steve Hargan the guy from Stranger Things? The older guy in the most recent season? Or am I making that up? I might be making that up. Bill Lee can be our 3rd man, and Kester can be the 4th starter. We don't really have a 5th starter. Do we have any other pitcher with at least reasonable stamina? Apart from Fratello, we really don't. I'd almost let Strohmeyer make the roster as a 5th starter. But I think we'll just go with a 4-man rotation for right now. Strohmeyer, long relief, emergency starter. Frisella, stopper. I want you to be, if it's an 8th inning or a close game, I want you coming in, and you're my closer as well. Rest of the team. Boozer would be a pretty solid setup guy. Let's put him in his setup. And then I think everyone else is going to be middle relief, and we're just going to see what happens. And then I'll shift people around as it makes sense. Oh, Lazar also needs to be middle relief. Okay. Lineups. I got way too many players. I need to get rid of 7 of them. So let's get that done. I don't need 3 catchers. And Rudolph could improve a bit in the minors. So let's go ahead and let him do just that. Hill and Hairston can go down to AA. Right. McKinney, I'm going to shift you to first. And I'm going to let you stay on the roster. Because you're clearly better than Robertson. So you're going to make the team out of spring training. And Robertson can be like a backup or something. I have 4 shortstops. I don't need 4. Can I get anything for Lanier? Oh, Lanier's really good defensively, though. Yeah, he's a perfect utility guy. I'm not getting rid of him. Robles can go. Let's give Metzger a chance to improve his hitting in the minors this year. Okay. Darwin is objectively bad. He's being designated for assignment. Castro is objectively bad. He's being designated for assignment. And then one more outfielder can be demoted. Young didn't really get a proper amount of time in the minors. I would like to start him in AAA this year. Let him play every day and see if he can improve his ability to hit for contact. Actually, let's start him in AA. That's fair. And see if he can improve his ability to hit for contact. And then I still need to get rid of one more player. Will Robertson ever hit? Actually, the better question is, why am I keeping Horace Clark? What could I get for you? Mostly unimpressive players. Everyone here is a pretty major increase in salary. And I don't know that I like it. Prospects only, and I'll eat half of his salary. Prospects only, and I'll eat all of his salary. There we go, Mike Hedlund. You're not great, but you're better than Horace Clark, so... Would you even give me anything else? I don't think you would. Would you give me George Mitterwald? Not very good. What would I have to add? You wouldn't take anybody. Okay, fine. Be a jerk. Nah, this is fine. Again, it doesn't have to be a brilliant team. This is about clearing up a roster spot more than it is playing, making a great team. Let's advance to opening day, and then I'll put the roster together. The offense together. He wants you to play close to 500. Yeah, I am not going to be competing in terms of getting the minor league system that he wants. Clear everything, please. Alright, position ratings. Let's not fool ourselves. We have only one possibility for the number 3 hitter. Hi, Bernie. You know, a good contact hitter who's got a great batting eye. Not a lot of speed, but I genuinely don't care. McKinney's actually not a terrible choice for first base or for leadoff. Oh wait, McKinney's actually a great power hitter too. No. McKinney's got to hit cleanup. He's the only other power hitter on the team. He's got to be cleanup. Ugh. I guess Dick Green is our leadoff hitter just because someone has to be. Jeter's gonna hit second because he has enough. No, Jeter's gonna be the 5th place hitter. I think that's the best use for him. Cardenas hits second and plays short. Alvis plays 3rd and hits 3rd. Smith bats 8th. And Echebarren bats 7th. Give me a depth chart. No. Robertson is not playing that frequently at first. McKinney's just a purely better hitter than Robertson. So while I don't mind having Robertson spell him every now and again, I also don't think it's smart to mess with the rest of it. Paste. That seems reasonable. I mean, look. I genuinely don't think our team this year is going to be that great. But stranger things have happened. So let's see what happens. I do. Who didn't I add to the roster? Oh, Strohmeyer. Okay. There you go. Remember, if we suck hard, we suck hard. And that's just what ends up happening. Oh, god damn it. I really just put them back on the 40-man, didn't I? Okay, I don't have to worry about that. Sweet. All of you go to AAA. Maybe you'll get called up later on. I would love to bottom out this year. Just kneel down, take the L, and see where that gets us for the future. Cardenas is hurt, which puts me in an uncomfortable situation. It almost forces me to start Metzger, and I'm really not prepared to do that yet. I want him to get more experience in the minors. So I'm actually going to call Robles back out. And of the two of you, which one can hit at least a little bit? Neither one of you can. Oh, boy. Jeter, you can hit second now because someone has to. And then who's the better shortstop? It's Lanier. So then he's going to be the starting shortstop now. And Robles is just going to slide on in there and back him up. Again, Jeter bats second. And Lanier plays shortstop with Robles backing him up. There we go. That's fine. Hey, shut up for Tom Griffin. Yeah, Don Young needs a lot of work. Everyone's going to put a spell on us. We're pretty terrible. That's fine. Downing is back. Downing, let's get you some rehab time. Because the thing is, Downing's more valuable to me in the long term than he is in the short term. Lanier. Robles, go on back to AAA. How long is Weaver out? Oh, he gone. Okay. Phew! Well, shit. Okay, fine. Cardenas and Downing. Come back to the majors. Kester leaves the rotation, Downing joins it, and Kauster's going to be middle reliever. Use Lazar more often. Other than that, I'm going to leave the bullpen alone. And then I'm going to go ahead and have Lanier back up at shortstop and have Cardenas start. And then Lanier can obviously fill in if we need a defensive sub. Cardenas, Lanier, defensive sub. And away we go. Goddamn, Washington's bad this year. Holy shit. Strohmeyer got a bit better. Everyone else seems to be getting worse, except for Hawk Taylor. That's pretty spicy. Carbo's getting worse. She's not getting worse. No, Hutto, your value is as a catcher. I want you catching. That's your quickest path to the majors. And we'll just go ahead and finish June too. Because, right, there's very little that I'm going to look at that's going to impress me with anything. What is Milwaukee offering me? For Ken Rudolph, he'll give me a mediocre starter, and the answer to that is no. You cannot have my young catcher. Yeah, Don Young is still way too raw to be making the majors consistently in the near future. Just why I wanted a certain center fielder to be on my team, but that's alright. That's whatever. Front office. Personnel. Bring back all the minor league coaches. Let's give them a chance to improve. Let's go ahead and bring Roca back. I don't see any reason to get rid of him just yet. Who's my one all-star going to be? It's probably going to be Carbo, I bet. Milwaukee, is this a real trade offer, or are you trying to get one of my best players for virtually nothing? I don't want Bob Lee, San Diego, or Milwaukee. Stop offering him. Just stop, mate. All right. Carbo made it. And Griffin made it, so we had 2 All-Stars. That's 2 more than I thought we'd have. God, you're such a loser, Carbo. You're only going to be, what, 7 wins this year. I'm joking. He's amazing. I really genuinely hope he gets a chance to play for the next good Padres team. All right, let's flip some folks at the trading deadline. Anybody who's playing well could well be traded. It's not that I don't like McQueen, it's that I don't want to give up Robles for McQueen. If I drop Robles, what would you want? You want Hairston, you can have Hairston. That seems entirely reasonable to me. Who on our team is having just an insanely good year? That's not Carbo. Really, it's just Johnny Jeter. And I'm not going to trade Griffin because Griffin's actually an important part of my team. Huh. I mean, to be fair, we're pretty terrible at everything, but... Roger Metzger's having himself a good time in AAA. That's good for him. What could I get in prospect-wise for Johnny Jeter? I could get some pretty outstanding relief pitching. No, Gene Garber is trash. This is not a good pitcher. Scipio Spinks is an amazing pitcher. Okay. So I want Spinks very badly. If I drop Jeter, what would I have to offer you? I could give you Max Alvis. Done. I mean, you have to make a trade like that. And then what I will do is call up Metzger. And a bench coach, I'm going to let you rebuild the roster the way you want. That looks fine. McQueen to AAA. Oh, he's got a 40-man. Fine. McQueen. Do I have any objectively bad pitchers? McGraw. But Roland is pretty bad too. What could I get for trading him? What if I ask for all three of these? Can I get a good player that might be useful in the future? Like, Bob Miller is really cheap. But I'd have to put him in the majors, and I just don't have a place for him there. You know what, Dan Schneider, I know you're objectively terrible, but I'm just trying to get rid of the dude. So that's fine. And then I'll go ahead and promote Spinks. And you're going to be a middle reliever with use heavy. How old is Hargan? 27, 22, 23, 29. What can I get for trading Downing? You really are pushing Gene Garber pretty hard. You're offering me a lot of unexciting players, and I'm not that desperate to get rid of him. So let's advance to the trading deadline. Kansas City. No. Also no. Okay. Anyone else I would like to flip? I still haven't traded Johnny Jeter, but I also don't think I want to do that this year. I want to have something in place to replace him, and Young is a long way away from being that replacement, in my opinion. Rudolph, my dude, you just got lapped in the minors by Hutto. A lot of people were interested in you. What could I get for trading you? It's all relievers and then other catchers who are equally mediocre. Meh. What if I took on some salary? Then what am I looking at here? A really great defensive third baseman. A bunch of relief pitchers. A reasonably good starting pitcher. It's not worth it. Because of the reserve clause, there's just no incentive for me to trade someone early. If I think there's any chance he might get useful. Bob Robertson's actually improved a fair bit. He's got a bit of a future on him, does Mr. Robertson. Maybe if we trust in him a bit longer, he will turn out to be an excellent choice. Metzger improved leaps and bounds defensively. Don Young is getting marginally better. You can't dispute that. Herman Hill, you cannot be batter of the month if you're hitting 179. That's insulting. It's insulting to everyone who has or will play the game of baseball. I'm still getting a mid-first round pick. I don't think we're gonna... Who did I lose? Strohmeyer. Alright. Hey, McQueen. Come on down. And you're gonna be middle relief used less often. Dang it, I'm trying to get a top 5 pick, and I just don't think that's going to happen. But you know what? I will get 2 first-round picks in a row. I will get 2 first-rounders in a row. Possibly. Yeah, I don't really care. I said I don't really care. Stop trying to make me care. I think I'm going to end up picking 6th or 7th, and I guess that's fine. There's not much I can do about that. Hargan got better. Achabaran. Herman Hill. He's still a great defensive player. Hey, look at Don Young. Young is ever so slightly starting to put it together. And I don't mind if he has a bad season in the minors. I want him to develop. And that means playing time. And finish today. So, besides Bernie Carbo, what went well this year? Bernie Carbo, you magnificent bastard. This is almost ridiculous how good you are. I love it. Jeter had a pretty fair season. Nothing too exceptional, but pretty fair. Everyone else on the team was ranged from meh to bad. Tom Griffin had a great year. Steve Hargan had an okay year, and everyone else was meh. So those are both things that happened this year. Griffin might get some down ballot Cy Young votes this year, which would be pretty sexy. And who's going to win the World Series? It is the Oakland A's. Another season finishes, and again, we're still a long ways away from sniffing the playoffs. Right now, our biggest concern is just going to be adding talent. That's where our luck is going to begin and end, is just building, adding talent to the team, and trying to get as good as we possibly can. Yeah. And so that's where we're at. We're still very, very raw. And we don't have a core yet. But hopefully, we can start to address that this year. If we look at the expanded standings. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be picking number 5. And number 11. So if we pick intelligently, we could easily grab 2 premier talents and start pushing our team in the right direction. This year was never going to be anything special, and I'm glad that we've managed to accomplish what we have. Until next time, though, this has been Avindian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.